Sometimes I'm asked if there's anyone that cannot take the essences. Absolutely not. We have given them to brand new babies that are born, brand new animals that are born. We have actually given them to people that are dying, and it's very hard, and they're being very having a very difficult time. We have given them to, actually, we give them to plants. We give them to the trees, back to the trees. So it's just absolutely amazing. Essences are really based on the energetic field. They're not really based on your physical. They'll affect you, but they're really based on the energetic field. And it's a quantum physics theory, and a lot of folks don't understand that. Once they take them, they start to understand them because they understand what they feel. So for one person that takes stress and anxiety, that is highly stressed, they're going to feel it almost immediately. Another person over here that says, oh, well, I'm okay. I mean, I'm a little stressed. It may take them days before they begin to feel it. So that's the differences that you'll find, because they are so subtle and they work to align your energy field. And another question I get is, essences and vitamins the same thing? They absolutely are not. Vitamins and minerals are going to affect your physical body. Essences affect your etheric body or energy body, which in turn will affect your physical body. So let's just give you an example. For instance, let's say that you're very, very upset about something that happened at school, and you're just really mad about it. And so if you take your vitamin and mineral, is that going to change how you feel? No. But if you take an essence, you will find some peace, and you will all of a sudden look at it differently at what you're mad about. And then you might see it totally differently, and you might find that what you were really mad about, you're not really mad about, because there's no need to be mad about it. So it works totally different. A question I'll get sometimes, am I the same as a medical doctor? A medical doctor is licensed, and a naturopathic doctor can or cannot be licensed, okay? Some states they are, some states they are not. The difference between the two is a medical professional will go to school and learn all there is to know about that body, every parts and pieces of it, and how to correct it from what they know and are taught. A naturopathic doctor is looking more at you from a whole perspective. In other words, physically, emotionally, and what your belief might be. So that we find that what might be working in one area of your life may not be working in another area, and it's something more emotional than it is something more physical. And so we look at you as a whole, and we help you to heal as a whole. And that's the difference. Medical professionals are good. We need them. Trust me. If I go out here and get hit by a truck, I'm sure glad they're there. But we also have a place for the naturopathic doctor like myself. And so a lot of us are taking lots of medications, and we're doing lots of different things that are sometimes unnecessary because we're not working with the laws of nature. For instance, let's say we have someone that is a smoker and wants to quit smoking. We have a lot of medications to help quit smoking, but there's always side effects. That's what I love about the essences. You can also use the essences to help you to do that, because there's an emotion that caused you to start smoking in the first place. So you're getting to the root cause of it, and it'll change that feeling of how you feel about that smoking. And so then what happens is then eventually you work your way through it, and you understand, oh, this is why I started to smoke. Well, that was silly. I don't need to do that. The body stops craving it. You keep taking the essences, it finds peace, and it becomes strengthful emotionally. Because we also have, emotional eating. It's the same thing. It's not any different. So these are about helping that underlying cause of the emotions. Many people that come in to see me for consultations are coming in for various reasons. One, they may be on a lot of medications, and they want to learn how to educate themselves to reduce those and maybe change over to some alternative things. But at the same time, I always impress upon them, I don't care what disease, which is nothing more than a disharmony, a discomfort that you have, the underlying issue that comes with that is, how did it get there? So you want to know the root cause, and you want to know emotionally what you're doing to feed it. So I teach them about how they're feeding themselves, the thought processes that they use. Anyone knows if you're sitting next to a negative person and they talk very negative for a long period of time, and you get up to walk away, you feel zapped, like you can't even move. and you wonder what happened to you, and all your energy reserves have left you because it's been just trying to hold your space and be kind to that person, but at the same time, it's like you're being bombarded with all this negative energy field. So the same thing is happening when you have an issue with your health. So again, when people come in to see me, it's always about doing the whole process. We look at them physically, emotionally, and spiritually, no matter what they're coming in for. And we help them understand that part of themselves and how important it is for the healing. I have folks that come to my office, and most of the time, not all the time, but just about most of the time, I do a form of a practice in science called Iridology. And that is the science of looking at your eyes. The iris is the colored part, and the sclera is the white part. And it's sort of like our little x-ray, so to speak. We can kind of look inside, and those eyes are just like your imprint on your thumb. And so that's why we have cameras that are now taking pictures of your eyes at banks, because nobody has a set of eyes like you. And all those colors and markings in your eyes are connected to the inside of your body. So this is like the outward appearance of what's going on inside. And it tells us in the iris part, it tells us about the genetic links. So that would be what you might be, maybe a problem for you that has to do with what your parents had when they were ill, or grandparents and so forth. Those are genetics. The sclera, the white part of the eye, tells you what's going on in the body right now. So it tells you if it's inflamed or congested. So what I do is I look at that and I put the physical part together. Then I re-look at the eye and I look at it from an emotional perspective. In Chinese medicine, they have the systems of the body as well as all the organs of the body have an emotion. And they have specific emotions. And let me give you an instance. For instance, your stomach. This is about perfection. So people will come in and they'll say, well, I have ulcers, or I have stomach problems, and I'm doing this and I'm doing that. And I'll say, has any of it worked? No, nothing works. And then I start to talk to them about their job or their family life. And what I find is, in our conversation, I am hearing this perfection mode. Everything in their life needs to be perfect, and if it's not, get out of my way, okay? So they're always trying to perfect, and that eats away at the stomach. In Chinese medicine, the gallbladder is about suppressed anger, and the liver is about resentment. So all of them have an emotion tied to them, and when we work on those emotions and we change them, it changes what's going on with us physically many times. The kind of people that come into my office are people that are at their last resort. They're usually coming in going, I've tried everything medically, I've tried this, I've tried that. I've even been to some naturopaths, and this isn't working and that's not working. And a lot of times with an iridology reading, I'll say, well, here's why. And then we look at their blood typing, and we look at, sometimes what their blood work is saying, what their saliva testing is saying, and so forth. And they can get all those from their medical professionals. And then when we look at that, we go, well, here's what's going on. This is why this is happening. So let's link it to an emotion that's tied to this. And it doesn't take very long. Many times people will sit there and they'll go, oh, well, I know what it is. And before you know it, I get the tissue box out. So they know their link. They know what's eating them alive. And they understand that. So when we can get there, sometimes we will just add the essence to their protocol that they're already doing. They may have come from a different naturopathic doctor, or they may have came from their medical doctor, and they're happy with that. So we add a protocol of the essences to what they're doing to work on the emotions and their belief system. And belief systems aren't about religion. They're about, why are you here? What are you doing while you're here? Why did you come to Earth in the first place? Okay, and all those kinds of things. And sometimes we just don't sit down and ask ourselves those things. We don't really know who we are. We need to know ourselves, and that's one of the important parts of it.